But the use of the remaining bond funds, the board hasn't approved any yet.
Well, and that's how you laid it out on this, on page 111,
No, I'm sorry, page 83.
In addition to that, we have the drawings, right?
There's this list, and then the other item to consider is Summers Road Elementary design, $278,000, Timberland addition design, $200,000. And if you added that to those other items, you could get $873,000.
Okay, so we've already agreed on the two schools. So on page 83.
What?
For April, did we not?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we already went down that path. For the bond issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily where it's be.
Yeah, I thought we agreed it was going to be on Summer Road. That would make sense. That's what we talked about.
Well, the design work for the Mexico Road site would be less than the Summers Road site. So it'd be $230,000.
And even though it's a very small percentage of the school, we have about 670,000 committed to Mexico Road at this time. About 630,000 grading package. And we get use some utilities for about 50,000. Guess we're looking at a $15 million project. We do get that money committed to Mexico.
But if we build only one elementary school, where our true need is in the southern part of the district, so Mexico would not serve the most urgent needs of the district. So if we were going to only do one elementary school, it would most likely need to be Summers Road.
Right, and that Mexico work isn't going to go away. I mean, that will still be there when we need to use Mexico Road.
Yeah, Mexico Road would most likely be the next elementary to be built.
Okay, let me rephrase my question another way. We've already agreed on the site, the design site work to be done for the elementary school and at Timberland. And I got everybody here to acknowledge that, correct? In order to have that put on the April ballot.
Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be approved tonight in order to have it on the April ballot. It's the expenditure of the funds, is my opinion. I mean, the decision to include that, are you talking about vote for an election for those items?
Right.
Well,
We've already
yes, I'm
agreed
sorry.
on that.
I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
part of the design costs.
Okay, this is part B. There's no doubt we've already agreed that in April, we want to put on the April ballot the addition to the Timberland High School and it's another elementary school to be located on Summers Road. And we agreed, everyone here agreed, we voted on that. Okay, what we need to decide now, and if you don't want to decide it tonight, that's fine, just let me know, is the expenditures of the remaining bond funds that we have. And the suggested ones were on page 83 that amounted to $395,000 with the addition of these two other ones that would be needed in order to get the elementary schools ready for 2009 that we, and the Timberland edition that we're planning to put on the April ballot. Those design costs are $200,000 for Timberland and $230,000 for the Summer Road side.
278. If we want these buildings to open in August of 2009, they need to start designing them now.
So
We don't even know the number though. I mean, you're throwing out numbers, you've been throwing out numbers, we don't know what the number is.
Yeah, they were, I mean, the numbers for Summers Road, the design for Summers Road Elementary is $278,000, and for,
Where's that number? Is that in our packet?
no, it was in your packet last month, but it is not in your packet for this month because we weren't going to do it. But those are the numbers, those were put together by Bruce for last month's board meeting.
what I'm saying here is it does no good to tell Bruce that we want to put this on the April ballot if we don't go ahead and acknowledge that we have to spend some design money in order to get it ready. I mean, you can't have it either or, so how do you want to do this? that are time critical or most necessary, and those were at Quail Ridge to replace those rooftop HVACs, the Harris Building for the new roof and the new HVAC system and the remodel of the address room, and the technology. Now, if you, Pat, I understand what you're saying, if you just don't want to talk about these funds tonight and only give the nod to go ahead on the site development for the Timberland addition and the elementary school, that's fine.
My point is, based on the scope of the matter, we don't know what the list is. The only thing we've seen is what we saw last month. When we discussed this last month, we were going to develop a list. Come to the meeting, here's another list to spend some money, and then we expanded another $500,000. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's the best idea. I don't get it.
I know. How about this? I will work with Michael Connell, and I think I know what you want to see as a list. I will work with Michael Connell to develop that list, and if we need to have another special board meeting the second or the third week in November, then we will set one. Is that okay? But then tonight, in order to give the nod to go ahead on for the April ballot for this elementary school and the Timberland addition, could you consider approving the site cost for each of those two?
Those are not, if we're going to move ahead with deciding putting something on the ballot, that's one thing, but giving the authorization tonight to extend funds related to those projects is not critical.
In what way is it?
Is he going to start the plans tomorrow morning?
Well, that's what he said to us earlier this evening. If we're going to wait till the next board meeting, we already lose 1 month on that permitting process. Because they won't
Well,
consider the permit.
actually,
It's
if
the
we
paperwork.
want to talk about the whole permitting process, in essence, we've been doing that as a courtesy to the communities, and we're not necessarily required to go through that process, and that's another discussion.
But Pat, we've been down this road before, and the only thing that exempts us from not having to go through the permitting process is it's a safety and health problem.
Those are the only things they can look at.
That's right. Now, I don't know that there's any municipality review board that's going to say that this is not related to health or safety. They're going to find something that's related to safety. I would, if it was a site plan. So, I mean, we've challenged this before, and frankly, we've never taken it to court, but our contractors have refused to go ahead and start the work without that permit. So, let's decide this, and then if you want to address that issue later on and see how far we can push it as far as, the law will take it, that's fine. But let's not try it on this one.
So you need a motion to spend, we need a motion to spend $278,000 on design work on the elementary school that we want to put on the ballot in April.
Yes.
We need a motion for that.
Yes, and then we will need a separate motion to spend $200,000 on their Timberland addition site.
Right.
Okay.
So I will make the first motion.
Great. Can you read the motion? It's on the elementary school.
The motion was to spend $278,000 on design work for the elementary and summer school.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Just you, Deb?
No, I said as well.
Okay. Okay, so it passes 4-2. Next, we'll need a motion for the design work on the Timberland